Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome back to our hadith class. We are doing the kitab known as Riyaadhus Saaliheen of Imam al-Nawawi rahimahullah, and tonight inshallah ta'ala we are starting a new chapter. So let us begin. Bismillah walhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man wala. So the chapter we are beginning tonight is Babun fi dalalati ala al-khayri wa du'a'i ila huda aw dalala. The chapter with regards to dalala al khayr, in directing someone towards goodness, what du'a ila huda or dalala, and calling someone towards guidance or misguidance. So this chapter will deal essentially with this topic in simple terms. So he begins, he says, قال تعالى وَادْعُ إِلَىٰ رَبِّكَ إِنَّكَ لَعَلَىٰ هُدًى مُسْتَقِيمٍ. In Surah Al-Hajj, Allah says, وَادْعُ إِلَىٰ رَبِّكَ, and invite towards your Lord, meaning towards Islam. إِنَّكَ لَعَلَىٰ هُدًى مُسْتَقِيمٍ. This is directed to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Verily, you are ala huda mustaqim, on the straight guidance. وقال تعالى ادع إلى سبيل ربك بالحكمة والموعظة الحسنة. In Surah Al-Nahl, Allah says, call to the path of your Lord with wisdom والموعظة الحسنة, and with good words. وقال تعالى وتعاونوا على البر والتقوى. In Surah Al-Ma'idah, Allah says وتعاونوا, and assist one another with على البر والتقوى, assist one another in acts of piety and taqwa. In other words, if there's something good, assist one another in it. And if there's something bad, don't assist each other in such evil things, in simple terms. وقال تعالى وَلْتَكُمْ مِنْكُمْ أُمَّةٌ يَدْعُونَ إِلَى الْخَيْرِ. In Surah Al-Imran, Allah says, وَلْتَكُمْ مِنْكُمْ, and let there arise, let there be from amongst you a group, يَدْعُونَ إِلَى الْخَيْرِ, who call towards goodness. So these are the ayat that Imam al-Nawawi rahimahullah has quoted in this chapter, and obviously there are many more, but he suffices just with these because there are many ayat. But let's look at the ahadith. وعن أبي مسعود عقبة بن عمرو الأنصاري البدري رضي الله عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم من دل على خير فله مثل أجر فاعله. So the first hadith that he quotes over here is Hadrat Abu Mas'ud, who's radiyallahu anhu, whose name was Hadrat Uqba ibn Amr al-Ansari radiyallahu anhu. He is al-Badri, meaning he is one of the Badri companions, one of those Sahaba radiyallahu anhum, those 313 that took part in the Battle of Badr. They get this extra special title known as al-Badri. He said that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, "Man dalla ala khayrin falahu mithlu ajri fa'ilihi." That whoever guides someone to some goodness, then he has the same reward as the one who does it. Now, the sababul wurud, when it comes to the Quran, we have the sababul nuzul, the reason for revelation. When that same concept exists in hadith, the reason why a hadith came about, it's known as sababul wurud. So sababul nuzul for Quran, reason for revelation. Sababul wurud, the reason for the hadith being said and spoken and coming into effect. So the sababul wurud behind this hadith over here is that there was a sahabi came and he was looking for a mount and an animal so he can ride, and a sahabi came and he said, I will take you to someone who will be able to assist you in this. And then upon seeing this, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, Man dalla ala khayrin falahu mithlu ajri fa'ilihi. So this sahabi took this other sahabi to another sahabi, and that sahabi did indeed give him now a mount, and now he could ride. So this other one, he had no money, he had no mount, he had no nothing. The only thing role he played in the whole thing was that he was the go-between. He was the middleman that connected person A with person C. He was person B. He connected A with C so that C could give a horse or a camel or whatever. But on account of that, he gets the same reward as if he had a horse and he gave it fi sabilillah. because he played that role of being the go-between. And that show is, it's such an important topic in the deen, and for the most part, we don't even bother with it. Sometimes you have a person who's struggling, and where are they going to get someone to be able to help them? Then you come in and you can say, for example, you don't have money, but maybe you can say, I know of this organization, they will be able to assist you. Or I know of a person who was discharging their zakah. I can either contact them, or I can put you in contact with them. Things of the sort. Even into to put it into a micro scale. Today, you find people, and a person is complaining. For example, I have such bad rot in my house over there. The mold is heating all over the walls and stuff like this here. Now, I actually know somebody who's got a very reasonable price in doing fixing these things up. The companies are charging thousands, and this guy would do it maybe for 200 rand, for example. And this person don't have the thousands to pay for it. So now you come and you step in and you're like, yes, someone, contact this person here. And the person contacted and you get it sorted. Then even though there was money paid involved because it was a business, but because of your stepping in to guide him by giving a phone number, even that is something that Allah will reward you for. So, with the deen, every little thing you can do will benefit you. But anyhow, let's not take too much time. This hadith is reported by Imam Muslim, rahimahullah, in his Sahih. Now we move on to hadith number 175. وعن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال من دعا إلى هدى كان له من الأجر مثل أجور من تبعه لا ينقص ذلك من أجورهم شيئا. Very similar to the hadith we did last week. Hazrat Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu said that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, Man da'a ila huda, whoever calls towards guidance, invites towards guidance, kana lahu min al-ajr, he has the reward, mithlu ujuri man tabi'ahu, he has his reward, and he has the reward of every single person that follows him. لا ينقص ذلك من أجورهم شيئا. That does not decrease their reward in any way or form. They get their full reward, and you get the same reward for every single one of them. So, for example, you're calling people to the masjid for salah. Even if you're calling people towards the masjid for some bayan which is going to take place, for example, some lecture is going to be taking place on matters of deen, or some class which is taking place, for example, there's a class taking place, people can learn for example, rulings of fiqh or aqidah, or whatever the case may be, and you invite somebody and you say, this class is taking place, come and join in. You get that. If people come and they join on account of you, you will get the reward. People don't. This is a point to itself which is very deep, because one of the things of sadaqah jariyah is knowledge, leaving behind knowledge. And sadaqah jariyah is that reward which is continuous. So now what happens is, when somebody learned by you alif bata, for the rest of his life, he's going to read the Quran. You were that medium of teaching him alif bata. Thus, whenever he reads the Quran for the rest of his life, you get reward. That's a means of sadaqah jariyah. Likewise, when it comes to knowledge, now you weren't teaching, but you were the one who said, come and join the classes here. Maybe you can also pick up something, learn something. It's a hadith, it's fiqh, it's aqidah, it's whatever from a reliable source. Then that person learns, and he can implement it in his life. It's something he can make amal upon. Maybe it's a dua and he's bringing it in, things of the sort, and you will get a share of that reward all the time. The one who conducted the class will get his reward, and you will also get reward. You're not an alim, you didn't teach, but yet you got reward. And that's how vast the rewards are as far as the deen is concerned. And yet, for the most part, it's like, I'm not attending, it's a waste of time, not even bother, who I have to tell the next person, that sort of mentality. But yet you see how as far as the deen of Allah is concerned, everything can carry a reward for you. But anyhow, that's the first part of the hadith. وَمَنْ دَعَا إِلَى ضَلَالَةٍ, and whoever now calls to misguidance, كَانَ عَلَيْهِ مِنَ الْإِثْمِ, he will have his sin, مثل آثام من تبعه, and the likeness of the son of all of those who follow him. لا ينقص ذلك من آثامهم شيئا, and that will not decrease their sin in the least. So in other words, if they are getting 1,000 sins on account of doing this one crime, you will get your 1,000 sins and their 1,000 sins and the next 1,000 sins. That's how it go. Compounded sin on your scale because of you calling towards it. So if you come and you calling people now towards some Abrahamic accord or some Abrahamic religion, or all of these interfaith, or for example, amongst many other things, or LGBTQI plus and some other extra things you want to throw in, and you call people towards it in whichever way or form, then you will carry that sin with you till the day, at least I shouldn't say until the day you die. You'll carry it till the day of Qiyamah, when you'll have to answer still for all of that too, and carry your sin plus their sins for it too. Rawahu Muslim, Imam Muslim rahimahullah is the narrator of this hadith. Let us move on. وعن أبي العباس سهل بن سعد الساعدي رضي الله عنه أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال يوم خيبر. Hazrat Abu al-Abbas, this Sahabi is famously known by his name, not by his kunya. His kunya is Hazrat Abu al-Abbas radiyallahu anhu. His real name is Hazrat Sahal ibn Sa'ad al-Sa'idi radiyallahu anhu. He said that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said on the day of Khaybar, meaning the battle of Khaybar, لأعطين الراية غدا رجلا يفتح الله على يديه يحب الله ورسوله ويحبه الله ورسوله. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, I will give the flag tomorrow to a man upon whose hands victory will be granted. Allah will grant victory upon his hands. He is a man that loves Allah and his Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and Allah and his Rasul sallallahu alayhi wasallam loves him. فبعت الناس يدوكون ليلتهم أيهم يعطاها. So the Sahaba radiallahu anhum, they spent the night, thinking, discussing, talking about the next one, who do you think is going to be? And because Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam didn't say who this man is, everybody was, thinking, who can he be? Who can he be? Would it be me? I wish it's me, that sort of thing. So the camp was a buzz with the discussion amongst the Sahaba radiallahu anhum, everybody wondering, who will this man be? فلما أصبح الناس غدوا على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم كلهم يرجو أن يعطاها. When the morning came, the Sahaba radiallahu anhum, it was now normal time. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam is going to be coming out now to give the flag. Everybody, they went to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. كلهم يرجو, everyone was hoping أن يعطاها, that he would be the one to be given the flag, because being given this flag was not just given a flag, not just being the one that victory is granted on your hands, but no, rather it would be a testimony that you love Allah and His Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and that Allah and His Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam loves you. Now we know radiyallahu anhum wa radu anhu is for all of the Sahaba radiyallahu anhum, but to have it stated, we know the Sahaba radiyallahu anhum are all Jannatis, but yet you have the Asharatul Mubashireen bil Jannah, those 10 Sahaba who were guaranteed Jannah on earth, and there were many others. We just say the 10 who were granted glad tidings of Jannah because they are all mentioned in one hadith, but there are many other Sahaba who were also granted glad tidings of Jannah in this world itself. But anyhow, so everyone wanted that he must be the one to get the flag. Everybody wants to be a winner, let's put it this way. Even if this is a competition, I wish I can win. So everybody wished they could be that one. فقال أين علي بن أبي طالب رضي الله عنه. And Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam looked around amongst the Sahaba radiyallahu anhum. Everybody was there. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, where's Hazrat Ali ibn Abi Talib radiyallahu anhu? فقيل يا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم هو يشتكي عينيه. So they said, somebody spoke up and they said that Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he has a problem with his eyes. Hazrat Ali radiyallahu anhu had an illness in his eyes and he was unable to see. So thus he was in his tent resting because he could not see to be able to walk around. فقال فأرسلوا إليه فأتي به. Then Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, send for him. In other words, let somebody go and bring him here. فأتي به. So somebody of the Sahaba radiyallahu anhu, they went and they guided Hadra Ali radiyallahu anhu because he was unable to now see like this, and he was guided in front of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. فبصق رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم في عينيه ودعا له فبرأ. And then Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam applied some of his Mubarak saliva in the eyes of Hazrat Ali radiallahu anhu and made dua for him. فبرأ. And there and then Hazrat Ali radiallahu anhu's eyes cleared up and the illness disappeared. Not just that, حتى كأن لم يكن به وجع. So much so that it was as if there was never an ailment afflicting him at all. So, if you have, for example, conjunctivitis or people call it pink eyes and different illnesses like this here, even if you use your medication, your eye drops, whatever, you still see the redness, the pinkness, the swelling, etc., etc. But not in this case. With this Mubarak saliva of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, coupled with the dua, the eyes of Hazrat Ali radiallahu anhu cleared up with immediate effect, and it was, you would never say he had an ailment. Not only that, what's not mentioned here, but is clarified at another point, is that Hazrat Ali radiallahu anhu's eyesight became even better than what it was before. And then فأعطاه الراية, and Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam gave him the flag. فقال علي رضي الله عنه يا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم أقاتلهم حتى يكونوا مثلنا. Hadrat Ali radiallahu anhu, he said, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, must I fight them? Am I to fight them until they become like us? In other words, until they become Muslim. فقال أنفذ على رسلك حتى تنزل بساحتهم. So Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam told him, أنفذ على رسلك. على رسلك is a term which means like, go on your time and don't hurry, don't rush. So go on your way and حتى تنزل بساحتهم. Don't rush, but go on your way. In other words, you're giving them a chance. If you rush, don't charge the fort in simple terms, but take your time, walk so that they can see you already coming along. حتى تنزل بساحتهم, until you settle down in the open plains. There's the fort, you are settled outside, they can see you clearly. ثم دعوهم إلى الإسلام, then call them to Islam. وأخبرهم بما يجب عليهم من حق الله تعالى فيه, and inform them of what is obligatory upon them of the rights of Allah Ta'ala upon them. In other words, call them to Islam and tell them about Salah and Zakah and fasting and Hajj and so on and so forth. فوالله, and then Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam takes an oath and say, by Allah, لأن يهدي الله بك رجلا واحدا خير لك من حمر النعم, that if Allah guides one person through you, it is better for you than red camels. Now, there's many masail that can be done here, but I know if I get down to the masail, we won't even be able to finish 1-2 more ahadith. So I'm not going to delve too deeply in the masail of things, but nonetheless, in this context over here, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, I'm going to focus on the other one part at least. So if Allah guides one person through you, how is the person guided? Whether the person is a Muslim or a kafir. So if you call a kafir, you're having like a comparative religion, so to speak. So you giving da'wah. Forget comparative religion. If you have a worker working in your house and you speak to them about Islam and they say, you know what, this religion sounds nice, how do I join it, for example, then it is better for you than humurin na'am. Or whatever way you are giving da'wah and people join, or a Muslim is non-practicing, let's put it this way, and then you speak to him and Allah guides him on your hand and he becomes a proper Muslim. Or a person, even let's put it this way, on this lowest category, a person is doing something which is wrong, and you guide him, or at least Allah guides him through you away from that sin that he's involved in, even that is better for you than red camels. Now, why red camels? It is because in Arabia, for the Arabs, the most prized possession was red camels. Gold and silver, it's in its place, but the red camel was better than gold and silver. That's how it was. Sometimes, and I've done this myself, we make a likeness with a red Ferrari, but there are cars better than a red Ferrari. For example, but here for the Arabs, the best wealth you could own was a red camel. So it's like the best wealth you could ever have is nothing in comparison to Allah guiding somebody through you. Muttafaqun alayh, hadith reported both by Imam Bukhari and Imam Muslim, rahimahum Allah. Now let's read the last hadith of the chapter and we can end on this point because our time will probably be up by then. Hadith number 177. وعن أنس رضي الله عنه أن فتى من أسلم قال يا رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إني أريد الغزوة. So Hazrat Anas radiallahu anhu, he said that a youngster from the tribe of Aslam. So you know those Sahaba, those people who are known as Aslami from the tribe of Aslam. Fata is his age, it tells you his age. In Arabic, there are different terms: a tifl, a sabi, a shab, fata, different things as a person's age changes. But anyway, so a youngster, as we would say in our terms. So a youngster from the tribe of Aslam, he came along and he said, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, inni uridu al-ghazwa, wa laysa ma'i ma atajahazu bihi. He said, Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, I wish to take part in the jihad, but I have nothing to prepare with. In other words, I have no money. I have no sword. I have no armor. I have no horse. I have no bow. I have no provisions. I have no food. I have nothing. I want to go in jihad, but I have nothing. Nothing that I can, the army is marching out. You need to be on a mount. I have no mount. We're going to fight in a battle. I have no sword. You need, some water to take with you. I don't have, like that. I have nothing to prepare me with. And because I have no money, I can't buy anything either. So it's like the army will leave and I won't be able to take part because I have nothing. So what happened? Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, قال ائت فلانا فإنه قد كان تجهز فمريضا. So Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, go to such and such a person. He had made all of his preparations to take part in the battle, but famarida, then he became sick, and his sickness is such that he won't recover in time, and the army will leave and he'll be left behind. He won't be able to join up with the army despite the fact that he had made all of these provisions, because for example he cannot get up out of bed to be able to partake in the battle. So فأتاه فقال, so the youngster, he came to the Sahabi and he said, إن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يقرئك السلام ويقول أعطني الذي تجهزت به. So this Sahabi came to the sick Sahabi and he said, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, verily Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam send salam to you. I'm not giving you just salam, but the salam and the one who I am a messenger for, I am Rasulillahi sallallahu alayhi wasallam in simple terms. I am here on behalf of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, who sends salam to you and says that you should give me those provisions which you had prepared for yourself for the battle. فقال يا فلانا. Now this Sahabi, hearing that it's from Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam more than anything else, but even if it was not the case, knowing that he wouldn't have been able to, he would have given it nonetheless. But the fact that Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam is here, the Dal Alal Khayr, the one who is guiding towards goodness. So he said, Ya Fulana, this sick Sahabi called out, so and so. Now, whether this was his wife or a slave that was working for him, Allahu A'lam, but he said, oh, so and so, أعطيه الذي تجهزت به. Give him all of that which I had prepared for myself. ولا تحبسي منه شيئا, and do not hold back one single thing of it at all. Give him every single thing. In other words, even if I had a toothpick that I was taking with, give that even to him. فوالله لا تحبسين منه شيئا فيبارك لك فيه. Because by Allah, you will not hold back a single thing of it and find that Allah puts barakah in it for us. So in other words, if we want barakah, if we want acceptance, then we must give every single last thing, like I say, down to the toothpick and the shoelace. Then we will have barakah. But if we hold back, he doesn't exactly need this. Why does he need this? You don't need, I had 2 shields, he didn't need 2, so I'll give him 1, I'll hold the other one for the next time I go. You would have ended up losing your reward and Allah would not give you barakah in that. That's what the Sahabi radiallahu anhu is saying, that if we were to hold back anything, Allah would not put barakah in it for us. So what we want is, we want acceptance, we want barakah, we want that Allah must reward us. So therefore, give him every single thing and Allah will grant us whatever of goodness it is. So this Sahabi, he gets the reward of having taken part in the battle. And in hadith, not here, but in another hadith, Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, "Man jahaza ghaziyan faqad ghaza." He who prepares a mujahid to fight in the battle, faqad ghaza, then it is as if he has fought. So in this case, this Sahabi would have gone. So for that alone, he has his reward. Secondly, in another hadith as well, and we did this one previously in the kitab, that when Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam told the Sahaba radiyallahu anhum, you don't travel through any valley or any mountain pass إلا وهو معكم حبسهم العذر أو وفي رواية حبسهم المرض, that there are people who are in Medina, you don't travel any mountain pass or any valley, but that they are with you. The only thing which has kept them back is an excuse, and the other narration clarifies it. What kept them back was the fact that they were sick, so they share in the reward. So this Sahabi would have shared in the reward in any case, but over and above this, because he now also prepared this other Sahabi with his provisions, so he gets the reward times two. And when I say times two, as we did in another hadith, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that you do a good deed and it is multiplied إلى 700 ضعف إلى أضعاف كثيرة. Allah increases the reward to, by 700 times, two more times even than 700. In other words, Allah can give you the reward of having fought in 1,000,000 battles because of one that you had done. That's how many times it's multiplied. So this Sahabi had times two now already. And then the absolute submission to the request of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He could have said, like I say, he could have held something back, and maybe he wouldn't have been taken to task even, because Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam didn't say give him literally everything, but rather give me that which you have prepared. So he could have said, I was actually planning on preparing some more for myself, but this Sahabi was like, no, this is what Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam wanted, so I want to give every last thing, and he gave it all. So he gets all of that extra reward upon reward upon reward upon reward. And there's so many once again masail that the ulama have mentioned on a hadith like this. A person reads it, oh, okay, it sounds nice, and we move on. But when the ulama look at the hadith like this, they draw so many rules and fawaid, as you would say, benefits and stuff from a hadith which you deem to be simple and straightforward. But obviously that comes from the point of knowledge, and the knowledge that the fuqaha had is more than we can fathom. But nonetheless, at the end of the day, there's a lot that we can learn. And like I say, if we just take from the point of being the middleman, to use those terms, however we can help, where we can help, how we can help. I'm not the one, like I say, who's helping. I'm not the one who's giving you a fatwa, but there's a woman or a man and they're having problems and they need assistance. They need, or somebody needing an answer to a particular mas'ala or something that's bothering him, and he doesn't know, for example, any ulama, or she doesn't know any ulama, but you're like, I actually know somebody, you can go and message him, he'll answer your question, your fatwa. For example, you give a number, you get a reward for it. You think nothing about it, you think it's small, but in the end Allah, nothing is ever small. But anyhow, our time is just about elapsed, so we will end on this point here for tonight, inshallah ta'ala. Until next time, we end and we say, wa sallallahu wa sallam wa baraka ala nabiyyina Muhammad, subhanallahi wa bihamdihi, subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdik, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.